want to bring in Kevin Hinks. He's live over at the SIBO in Chicago. All right, Kevin, it looks like some good news here on the job market. Take us through the numbers.
Non-farm payrolls beat expectations. 177,000 jobs created in the month of, let's call it, April, right? And so unemployment rate stays flat at 4.2%. So good numbers there. How about this? Private jobs, 167,000, much more than expected. Here's the wages numbers for inflation, up 0.2%. And that's a tenth less than expected, and 3.8%. That is unchanged from last month. The expectations were for 3.9%. So good, solid numbers here. E-mini futures and the NASDAQ doubling their gains from up about 0.4 to up 0.8 on the day. It looks like we're starting with a green trade here to start the day, Diane, with overall stocks. Some good news out of China and U.S. negotiations starting. That hit the futures last night. Now the non-farm payroll number looks like, at least to start the day, a green day, Diane.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it feels like a sigh of relief, adding to, some of the overall momentum that we have been seeing in the pre-market on the basis of seeing reports that the U.S. and China may be getting close to trade talks. And I know the other thing that could have moved the needle today was this jobs report. A couple things stand out to me. Healthcare showing strength still with job growth there. Transportation,
51,000 jobs in healthcare.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And then the transportation warehousing, that stands out to me, especially given the tariffs impact. So it looks like there's still job growth there when you think about the truckers moving the items that people want, Kevin.
Exactly right. I mean, now the discussion will start on, is this pull forward? What does this mean? Are the tariff and effects hitting the market? I tend to think the data is the data. Take this number with the good news out of China. That's what the E-minis seem to be doing, at least to start the day. And, by the way, fairly good news out of wages. Remember, more positive inflation data. That's the great thing about the non-farm payroll number and unemployment. You get news on the labor market, but you also get inflation data from wages. It's one of those 4 looks at inflation that we get during the month. So up 0.2, that's a tenth better than expected. 3.8% unchanged from last month. That's a tenth better than expected, Diane.
Okay, so that's looks like overall solid news. One thing that, one of the guys on the floor was pointing out that overall it is good, but he did notice that the previous month was revised lower. Looks like last month or March was revised down. So it shows that there was a little bit of weakness coming, Kevin. Any other takeaways you want to leave us with on the jobs report?
So far, just looking at the overall numbers, the market will tell you what it thinks of the number. And right now, it's a muted but solid number. Like I said, futures have basically doubled their gains. Now, we've still got earnings season. We've still got headlines coming out. This is still a headline-driven market. But at least for right now, the news on possibly the beginning of negotiations between the U.S. and China, that's what got our futures up overnight, Diane. Earnings from Amazon, okay. Earnings from Apple, slightly disappointing. Apple down. Amazon was unchanged. Let's see where it is now. It was pretty close to unchanged. Yeah, now it's up just very slightly on the day. So pretty good news there that neither of them are disappointing, but Apple is slightly negative to start the day. All things considered, we're getting through a big gauntlet of a week in terms of economic data, earnings, and headlines, and we're going to finish the weekend with a pretty strong day here, at least to start the day. Remember, I never say, I'll let you know at 3 p.m. how the day goes, Diane.
That's a great point. And sometimes it's that last half hour that really dictates how the day goes. All right, that's Kevin Hinks, co-host of Fast Market.